Hi everyone, and welcome back to day 27 of Christmas in September here at Stamp with Anna. And today is the last day that we'll be using the Sheltering Tree stamp set. And we're just going to use the tree today. Today we're going to be using some embossing paste, which is new in the 17-18 Stampin' Up! Calendar. And I don't use it as often as I should, but I thought it looked perfect for some glistening snow on this card. And I haven't put a sentiment on this card because I'm not sure if I'm going to use Merry Christmas or Season's Greetings or Happy Holidays or whatnot. So I think when I decide to whom I'm going to send this, I'll just put a piece of Whisper White on the inside and stamp the appropriate sentiment. So let's get started on this one. What we need for paper is our base is Wisteria Wonder, which is also a color I don't use that much. 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. A piece of Whisper White that is cut at 4 3/8 by 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I'm sorry. And then we have a piece of Whisper White 3 by 3.5 and Wisteria Wonder 3 1/8 by 3 5/8. I think I have those right. What we need for ink is Soft Sky and Soft Suede. And what I'm using for some ribbon is Wisteria Wonder seam binding. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to take my Whisper White piece of paper, and with a cut up sponge, I'm going to apply some Soft Sky, just very lightly, and just about the top 2/3, because I want it to look like the sky, and I don't want it to go all the way down to the bottom. And to make it less harsh when I go on there, I'm going to tap it into my ink pad, and then I'm going to stamp off and then come in. And I know I always tell you to come in off the side, and that's what I'm doing, but I want it to be a little softer than it normally is anyway, so that's why I'm stamping the sponge off just a tad. All right, and then that's all we need that for. Next thing we're going to do is stamp our tree in Soft Suede. Just ink that up a little bit. And I'm going to, let me get my pad because it is photopolymer and I do want a nice crisp image here. I'm going to stamp this right in the center of my paper. And there we go. That is all the stamping we need to do. So now what I'm going to do is bring in my silicone pad and my embossing paste. I'm going to scoop out just a little. I don't need too much. Give that a little stir up. I'm going to take just a little bit and make a mound on my silicone pad. Then I'm going to sprinkle some dazzling diamonds on that. As much or as little as you want. If you want real sparkly, you put a lot. If you don't want too sparkly, something subtle, you don't put as much. And then I'm just going to mix it in. I like the embossing paste. I don't like the mess, I guess, and not having control over where it's going, I guess. Maybe as I get better with it, or as I get used to using it, I'll like it better. But it does make a really nice effect on it. So what I'm going to do is just spread this around the bottom. So I'm making like a snowbank. And it does dry rather quickly, which it's a good thing if you're in a hurry to get your cards done, or if you don't have the time to wait and you don't want to wait. It's a bad thing because sometimes I don't get to the sink to clean off my tools quickly enough, and then I have a mess. A little more here. This doesn't look real. All right. And when you get what you like, see, I don't like that right there. Here's my lack of control here. I didn't want any on my tree stump. All right, well, that's about as good as I'm going to get it off. So now what I need to do is I'm going to take my little trowel here, and I'm going to put just a tiny bit on it. And I'm just going to randomly pick some branches that I think snow will be on. Trying to pick up some of my paste that has the diamonds, dazzling diamonds in it, because I do want that to sparkle. A little bit there, tiny bit right there. Maybe a little on this branch. And I guess that'll do me for now. Okay, I'm going to be good, and I'm going to go run this in this sink. I'll be right back. Okay, I have all my tools soaking in the sink. So now I can get on with the rest of my card. I'm going to attach that tree. And it does really sparkle nicely, don't you think? I'm going to attach that tree to my Wisteria Wonder. Tiny little border here. I'm going to take my larger piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to run it through my embossing folder, which is the Softly Falling. I just love this embossing folder. It's perfect for wintertime, and not wintertime, it's just a perfect embossing folder. I'm going to run this through. I'll be right back. Okay, and here is the embossed piece. Now, you can hold it either way. You can have it with the lighter snow on the top, and so it looks like it's piling up on the bottom, or you can turn it this way, and there's a ton of snow coming down and just hitting the ground. Whatever way you like. I'm going to go this way. So, I'm going to take now my Wisteria Wonder seam binding, and I'm just going to tie a knot. I know I usually tie a fake knot if I'm not tying a bow, but the seam binding is kind of funky to do that with. So I'm just going to go this way. Trim my edge, my tails there. And now I'm going to attach that to my card base. Now this time I think I might put it on this side, just to shake things up a little bit. Again, it's just a tiny little border. Now I'm going to take my embossing paste tree and put that on this side. And there we have it. Day 27 of Christmas in September. And it's a beautiful sparkly embossing paste tree. I really like this. Like I said, didn't put a sentiment on it because I don't know where it's going yet. So I hope you enjoyed this series of sheltering tree cards, and if you have any questions about this project, please contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. I hope you'll be back tomorrow when we start our last 3 days of Christmas in September. And I've saved the oldest stamp set in Stampin' Up's catalog for the last stamp set we'll be using. So we'll be making 3 cards with Lovely as a treat. So I hope you join me, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.